So this rankings list will follow the protocol of most of the rankings lists for Harrison on YouTube. That means that it will not include any live albums, meaning Concert for Bangladesh. As you look at the little booklet here of Concert for Bangladesh, it will not include the live in Japan, and it will not include any compilation or best of. Okay. Now, I have seen rankings lists where there's 13 total, so they do all the studio albums, including Wonderwall music and electronic music. I've seen at least one of those. I will not be including Wonderwall music and electronic music, and the reason for that is I do not own electronic sound was the title of that one. So I do have Leon Russell. Yeah, I do have Wonderwall music LP if you want to take a look at that. And that's right here. And it's from 1968, I think. I can't remember if this was his first one or his second one. But there it is. The cover is pretty beat up. The LP has quite a bit of wear to it. And that's it. This will not be included, so we'll be doing 11. That's kind of the standard list. Okay. Now, the one thing about ranking the Harrison LPs is there's no anticipation as far as the top slot. So we all know what the top slot's going to be. So, but I'll just start at number 11. Here we go. Do this like we did the Jefferson Starship LPs. A little bit of a surprise. This is my least favorite one after much deliberation. Let's take a look at the, it's got a gatefold. I kind of like, the pictures are good. I like this one right here. Picture of his dad and little yard gnomes, and then Billy Preston and Willie Weeks, the bass player. I don't really recognize anyone else. And then this thing to me, just to put it bluntly, is just I really tried to like this thing, and Crackerbox Palace I don't like. I guess that was the one kind of hit song off this. He had that weird song, True Love, which was like a cover by Cole Porter. Is that right? Yeah, True Love was Cole Porter. And then this song, of course, was the one about the My Sweet Lord lawsuit. It had a music video. I guess See Yourself is okay. Some people like Beautiful Girl. I used to, but it's, so basically the whole thing just comes off flat to me. There's nothing that elevates this to being listenable. And I think one reason, after looking at the credits here, he didn't really have his usual, like, Jim Horn, Jim Keltner, no Ringo on here. I mean, he's got Gary Wright on keyboards, but didn't have his regular sax player. And I just don't know what happened on this one. This is very much sounds like he's just in a rut. So this is number 11. All right, number 10. This is the one that most people put in their least favorite. And it's, of course, Gone Troppo. And I don't know what was going on here. Maybe it was a lot of blow in the studio, but he was just going for some kind of different sound. And that picture right there says it all. I think that's Gary Wright right there, but this is from this is from 1976. 33 and a third. Gone Troppo is from 1982. And I guess I put it above 33 and a third because it does have a couple that are okay. Like the first two, Wake Up My Love, is is good. Is all right. And then That's the Way It Goes is probably the best song on the album, and the rest of it's not very good at all. So at least it has a couple things on there that are decent. They're better than stuff on 33 and a third. So it's kind of close as far as which one's worse, but I would just put Gone Troppo. I would put Gone Troppo ahead of 33 and a third. Let's go to 9. Okay, number 9 is going to be 1974 Dark Horse. I've never liked this album. Again, it doesn't really have anything on there that elevates it to being it doesn't have like a defining song on there that's really good, but it's still a little better than Gone Troppo. His voice isn't very good on this. I've always liked Ding Dong Ding Dong, and then Dark Horse is pretty solid, and Maya Love is okay. I don't like Maya Love as much as some people, and then the rest of it's not very good. So it's pretty close between Dark Horse and Gone Troppo. Again, it's kind of uninspired, but I would go with number 9, Dark Horse. Number 8 is Somewhere in England. Now this is one that maybe a few years ago I would have put it like number 10. It's kind of climbed up a little bit for me. I guess I kind of understand where he was going with this now a little bit more. It's grown on me a little bit more. I used to pretty much just dismiss it. The big song on it was All Those Years Ago, and it's a pretty good song. It sounds the whole album sounds kind of lazy, and again, it's just it's a little flat. But I've come to like the song called Unconscious Rules and Teardrop. So it has a few pretty good. Is it Unconscious? No, That Which I Have Lost. Teardrops and That Which I Have Lost, and then All Those Years Ago. And the rest of it is kind of still trying to let it grow on me kind of thing. But just the cover of this is 1981. And it's the year after Lennon died. And it's of course, the song All Those Years Ago has McCartney and Ringo on it. It's the only solo song by any Beatle that has 3 Beatles on it. Like a mini reunion. And the cover there just kind of shows his boredom. So that's number 8. I think that's a fair ranking. Let's go to 7. 7, okay. Extra Texture from 1975. Let's see. Kind of an interesting pull out here. Not him again. Oh, not him again. You probably don't get that on the CD version, but no gatefold here. But yeah, this one is not that great, but obviously the lead off is just awesome. It's one of his best songs of all time, and his band is really good on here too. I mean, he's got Leon playing at least on the song You. He had Jesse Ed Davis, who was at the concert for Bangladesh, playing on a couple songs, and then Keltner is on there. No Ringo, but Billy Preston plays a little on His Name Is Legs. But so let's see. So You is great. The Answers at the end is pretty good. And then there's one song that has a really good. The Answers at the end as one of his best guitar solos of all time. So not a great album, but I would put it ahead of Somewhere in England, at least for now. It sounds closer to like vintage George than Somewhere in England. Sounds a little too somber, but not great, but good enough to be number 7. And it's actually number 6. I'll make it number 6. You know why? Because I screwed up. There's only 10 albums, and I'll tell you why in a second. All right, so let's redo this. Number 10 is 33 1/3. Number 9 is going to be Gone Troppo. Number 8 is Dark Horse. Number 7 is Somewhere in England. Number 6 is Extra Texture. What I did was I picked up the LPs and I counted this one. This is the best of George Harrison, which covers the first side of it covers his best from the Beatle years, and then the side 2 covers his best from his solo career up to Extra Texture, up to 1975. So the Apple period. So yeah. So it goes up to Extra Texture. It doesn't. So the first Dark Horse label was that he did was 33 1/3. All right. So at least you get to look at what the best of looks like. And this one came out, I think, in 1976. There it is. Okay, number 5. 1 through 5 is not a difficult deliberation. I didn't have to put a whole lot of thought into this. So, number 5 is the posthumous 2002 album Brainwashed, and as you can see, that's the CD. I do not have the LP of this, and I probably never will because the going price right now is $85 at the least. And so this one is one that I had some tempered enthusiasm for when it came out, when I heard it was coming out, roughly a year after he died. And because I didn't have any expectations for it to be like great, but I heard Jeff Lynne was doing the producing, and so was Danny Harrison, and so I was like, well, it's gotta the sound's gonna be good, but I didn't have great expectation for it. Still kind of excited. I knew of the song Any Road because I'd heard it. He did a live performance of it on some random show, and so I really that's one of my favorite songs by him of all time. Then the one that kind of was a minor hit was Stuck Inside a Cloud's pretty good. The instrumental Marwa Blues is fantastic. The title track is very, very good. Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, one of his ukulele songs, I really like that a lot. And then Run So Far is a little boring, but it's decent. It's one that Eric Clapton, he wrote for Eric Clapton, that Clapton recorded, I want to say like, it was sometime in the late 80s, like 88 or something like that. And then Harrison does it here, and it's pretty decent. Rising Sun. It's not too Jeff Lynne-ish. They really tried to keep it more like George, and it's a good album. It's not great, but I like it. Brainwash, number 5. And then number 4 is Cloud 9, and this was one of the first albums I ever got, like studio albums by Harrison. It's, has some similarities to Brainwash because of the Jeff Lynne thing, but his comeback album, 1987, and it includes, let's see, Cloud 9, the title track, is one that's grown on me. It's a very good song. I always like That's What It Takes. Fish on the Sand is my favorite song on the album. Just for Today is boring. This Is Love is great. When We Was Fab is one that I don't like as much as most Harrison fans. Here's the 45 single of that, and it's got a B-side called Zigzag, which is kind of a fun song. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Zigzag, yep. What else on there? Devil's Radio, right. And then there's some stuff on here that's not really listenable. Like this, there's a gap in here. Like these songs aren't very good. And then Got My Mind Set on You, which went to number 1. The video is better than the song. The song it's catchy, but it's not great. But this is This is definitely a step up from Brainwashed. Brainwashed has a little more of that spiritual type of sound and stuff going on there, and then Cloud Nine's a little more fun. But a little happier, I guess. But yeah, number 4, Cloud Nine. All right, number 3. So we're in the top 3 now. And this is the self-titled George Harrison from 1979. Maybe a weird choice, but I just always like this a lot. Love Comes to Everyone. It's hard not to like. Not Guilty, of course, the song that was rejected by the Beatles, is a very good song. Here Comes the Moon is a throwaway. I don't know. Somehow it got on that best of Dark Horse, but it's listenable, but it's not that great. Soft Hearted Anna, not very good. Blow Away is one of his best songs, I think. Just very catchy. And then Faster had something to do with racing, and I really like that song. Dark Sweet Lady is a good ballad, and as is Your Love Is Forever. And Soft Touch, I like that. It kind of picks up the pace a little bit. And then The Closer is very underrated, If You Believe, kind of a short song co-written by Gary Wright. So I like this one. I think it's a little stronger, at least for me personally, than Cloud Nine. So I put it ahead of Cloud Nine. Number 3. Number 2. I think this was the second studio LP that I ever got by George Harrison. I got it on CD, and then I parted with it, which was kind of stupid because for CDs it's probably worth something now. There's not many of them out there. This is Living in the Material World from 1973. His follow-up to All Things Must Pass, and this one I didn't like that much when I first got it, but after listening to it more times, after that, recently, it's you really have I really have more appreciation for this. And Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth was the big hit, and Sue Me Sue You Blues I don't like that much, but there's ones on here that have really grown on me, like the song The Day the World Gets Round. Like, I heard that on that Beatles station. I was like, dang, it's like really good. And then and like Be Here Now, Try Some Buy Some is just like decent. It's all right, but don't let me wait too long. Maybe the best one on there. It's the kind of the Beatles-ish type song on there. And then Who Can See It might be his best vocal of all time. His best vocal performance, at least solo. It's just incredible. And then I kind of like how it goes from that. It's very somber, and then you get it. Then you had the opening of Living in the Material World, the title track, which is very good too. Excellent band on here. He's got there's Ringo right there. He's got Ringo and Keltner, and he's got Nicky Hopkins, Gary Wright, and of course Jim Horn on there, Klaus Vormann. So a lot of his main crew, and there's Gary Wright at the table. This retains a lot of the kind of the same feel of All Things Must Pass, but it's not as heavily produced. And so yeah, this is it's just hard to put this any lower than number 2. It's a very, very good album. Living in the Material World. Very good listen all the way through. All right. Number 1 is All Things Must Pass from 1970. Thanks for the pepperoni. So this thing has some wear to it because I've played it over and over. And there's, of course, the triple LP right there. I think every song on here... I'm trying to think of a song that's not good, and it's hard to do. Maybe that other version of Isn't It a Pity, the kind of toned down one, I don't care for that much. I think it's version Version 2, yeah. The shorter one is not as good. Yeah, I dig Love. It might be my least favorite on there, not counting the jam, the apple jam right there. Johnny's Birthday right there. And this one only has 2 tracks. Thanks for the Pepperoni and I Remember Jeep. Every song on it is great. It's just earthy. It's better than... It's probably better than any Beatles LP. So there you go. And so that's the... let's do a review. Harrison LP rankings, number 1, All Things Must Pass from 1970. Number 2, Living in the Material World, 1973. Number 3, Self-Titled, 1979. Number 4, Cloud 9 from 1987. Number 5, Brainwashed from 2002. Number 6, Extra Texture, 1975. Number 7, Somewhere in England, 1981. Number 8, Dark Horse, 1974. Bolts is not going to be happy about that. Number 9 is Gone Troppo from 1982. And then my least favorite, number 10, is 33 1/3 from 1976. There we go. That's the Harrison LP rankings. Not as good and not as in-depth as most on there. I didn't put a whole lot of... I didn't put a ton of thought into these, but hopefully I will finish my list of the top 20 Harrison songs, solo songs of all time. And Bolt and I can do that one night on Wire Club. So, all right, let me know what you think. Any agreements, disagreements. All right, so there you go. All right, take care. The Lord is waiting on you all.